Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Frivolous Writer, where you can join me on this journey of me writing my very first novel. I'm going to be sharing a lot of things around what works, what doesn't work for me on writing writing my first novel. And before I want to get started, I just want to say a huge thank you for those of you who are returning to this channel. Those of you who have taken the time to give me some comments around what's working, mostly motivating me, which is awesome because some of the things I want to talk about today is just how hard it is to actually write. I knew it would be because I've been trying to do this for literally decades of my life. Never gotten past actually even writing the first chapter. And here we are. I've shared 3 chapters already. I've written 8 for a young adult novel around a group of kids who have uncovered a plot to destroy the world. So really fun. It's a great adventure for me, but also awesome opportunity for me to share this with all of you. And for those of you who have been joining along the way, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you because this is actually getting way more views than I thought it would. Some of them have one of my videos has now broken 40 views, which to me is bananas because I haven't told anyone in my life other than my partner that I'm doing this, maybe and one of my friends. So really awesome that it's getting this kind of response and really just wanting to the purpose other than just sharing this journey with everybody and trying to create a community of people around me or in the world that are also on a similar journey who want to share what works and what doesn't work and how we can be better at what we do. But really, it's actually about finding your purpose. And that's what it's been for me, because for the last literally 30 years, so 3 decades of my life, I've always dreamed about writing, and I've tried so many times. And within the last 10 years, I've really tried hard to start. And that voice in my head that says you're not good enough and it's never going to be good enough stops me from starting. And the other thing that stops me from starting is okay, I know that I'm not going to be good, so let me just over invest in what's working for other people. And then finally I said, you know what, let's just do it. So I just started writing. I've shared 3 chapters already, but today, as it's Friday, I want to kind of talk about some things that have worked and things that haven't worked. I just want to do a shout out real quick to Success Is Mine, because you really actually gave me some very good advice. It was today, but today won't be today because this is going to be posted on Friday, but on Wednesday. And just a big thank you to Success Is Mine for sharing what's worked for you in the comments. You've given me some really good feedback around how I could develop the story. And just a big shout out to you on your 10-book series. Incredible. And thank you for sharing your novel with me. I've already started reading it. I'm 3 chapters in. It's been fun to kind of see how your style is and what's working for you. So big thank you for that. And but what I wanted to talk about today was actually something that Success Is Mine brought up to me around their style of writing. So, and this has come up a few times. And then also I let you all know on Tuesday that I also created a Reddit, and I've been doing a lot of reading on Reddit forums around how to be successful as a writer. And if you're interested in any of the subreddits that I'm following, just make a comment below. I'll share everything that I'm going through. But I think this one was on writers or new writers, I think is what it was called. But it's the idea of plotting versus pantsing. So plotting would be where you write out your entire story of plot before you start so that you'd know the major beats and direction that the story's going. Or pantsing, which is flying by the seat of your pants and discovering the stories you write without any of the details planned out. So I've kind of talked about this before. I just didn't know that these were terms that people used. And so what I really found helpful, especially in the beginning, was plotting everything. So I kind of had, like, I've had this thought of a story in my mind for years. So I kind of already knew what I wanted to be writing about. But I hadn't actually plotted anything. I didn't talk about characters or character development, or I didn't talk about where they would be going or what they would be doing or any of these major events that would be happening throughout the story. And then what ended up happening is I wouldn't start because it would become so overwhelming for me that I would start writing and I'd be like, oh, I don't know where this is going, or I don't know what's happening and whatever. So I would just stop. And then Success is Mine, in one of the comments that they left, said that they are a pantser. So they like to just go and write the story and let the story tell you. And I know that, or tell itself. And I know that that's what Stephen King talks about as well, is that he is also a pantser. Doesn't call himself that, but that's what he does, is he hates plotting because he feels that it actually will detract from the story. And so what I found is that when I did that plot in the beginning, it was super helpful because it got me going. It got me writing and knowing at least pieces of the story. But now that I'm almost halfway through writing my first draft, I'm finding that I think I'm more of a pantser. I'm more of a, let me just allow the story to tell itself, because as I'm writing, I'm noticing that I'm kind of going off and I keep having to come back to tell the story that I was originally writing. And I'm finding that really difficult because I had a crisis moment this week, and it kind of stopped my progress. And I was talking to my partner and my one friend that knows, one of my two, I have two friends that I've told that I'm doing this, but I was talking to my one friend about it, just saying, what should I do? Should I write the story that's being told, like the one that's coming to me? Or should I try and go back and write the one? And I think what I'm going to do is actually just write the story that's being told to me. So there's a reason that it's coming to me the way that it's coming. And what I'm loving is it's still in the universe. It's still in this universe that I know, that's in my mind around this original story. And it's not that I'm never going to be able to go back and write that other original story. And maybe it's important for me to write this story now because it's helping me to develop my tone and develop my tone, my storytelling, all of that. So that when I do go back and write this other story that's been in my mind for years and years and years, then it'll make it easier for me to write that one when I'm ready. So it is changing a little bit, but I just wanted to share that because I think if I'm going through this, if this is something that I'm thinking about and having trouble with, I know that there's someone out there probably having the same problem. And I've read a lot of posts within Reddit, and even just in the videos that I'm watching here on YouTube, around people that are having a difficult time starting. And then everyone just says, well, just start. But when I was having that same issue, I wasn't able to just start because it became so overwhelming that I would stop before I even started. And then I would just go back to work, doing my regular 9 to 5, and I would stay miserable. And so for all of the people that are actually going through the same kind of struggle that I was going through about a month ago before I started, and every time I tried to start before, I would say, write down what your story plot is. Maybe don't go, like, if you don't know whether you're a pantser or a plotter, that's okay. Just write down the crux of your story. So what is eventually going to happen, or what's that idea that's been floating around in your mind for the last while, whether that's the last month or year or years or decades, who knows? But just write down what that idea is, because if it's been kicking around in your mind for a while, chances are it's a story that's wanting to be told by you. And so take that time, write down what that is. Then from there, if you have some scenes in your mind, don't try and write those scenes out yet. Just write what those scenes are. So if your scene, for instance, let's say it's Harry Potter and it's that the last battle for Hogwarts that Voldemort dies. Maybe you don't know that Fred, oh my God, no spoilers. Maybe you don't know that so-and-so dies, but you know that that's a scene that you want, and you know that there's going to be a showdown between Harry and Voldemort. Write that down, because eventually you'll get to a point where you're going to be able to write that whole scene. And action scenes aren't easy, at least they're not for me. I know I shared before that I do the dialogue and I see the movie in my head. So for me, action isn't easy. I get stuck in my mind a lot. So I do a lot of, this is what they're thinking and feeling, and this is what's around them, and there's not a lot of action. So maybe if you're like that, you write down the action, the bigger action, and then from there you can kind of fill in the blanks. So maybe that'll get you going. And then the other thing that I've noticed is I'm not a linear chapter writer, and I don't know that anybody actually is writing from start to finish the exact story that they want from chapter to chapter to chapter. And even if you do, I think that you probably, after writing them, you probably reorganize them. And I know that that's what I'm doing. So I started as more linear, writing chapter 1, then chapter 2, then chapter 3. And I'm still kind of doing that, except that as I'm now about halfway through my story, halfway through my novel, I'm actually going, oh, this would be a good scene for here. And I'm moving it forward. And I was reading, and I can't remember what it's called now, but I know that there's an app that you can use that'll allow you to do that without having to move it. So if you're writing on Word or whatever, you can kind of use, oh gosh, I'm going to have to find it. Maybe I'll pop it in the comments or in the description. But there's an app, and if anybody knows what that app is, or if you're using an app yourself, if you can just pop that in the comments below, that would be super helpful for me and for everybody that's reading this. So anyway, long story short, too late. I know that this is just something like it's just been hard for me to write this week, and I was getting a little discouraged. So thank you so much to Success Is Mine, because you really reinvigorated me, got me thinking differently about my writing, and it's made me start writing more. So today I wrote well more than my 1,500 goal. 1,500 word goal. And that's because after I did my writing this morning and I saw your comments and I was commenting back to you, it actually got me excited, and I went back and wrote even more. So thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate you. I have linked you to this video as well, so other people who can go and check out your channel. But thank you so much for everybody being here. I don't have like a set time, but I don't want to take up too much time saying the same thing. But I will leave you with one more thing. November is the, what's it called? NaNoWriMo. So the National Novel Writing Month. And so if you're thinking about writing a novel, I would say start plotting it now if you are a plotter. If you are not a plotter, that's okay. If you're a pantser, get ready to write. Maybe start thinking about the story that you want to tell, because November is only a month and a half away. And I would like to put out the challenge to everybody here. And I know I'm going to be challenging myself to finish this book that I'm currently writing so that I can plot out book 2 and try and do 50,000 words in 30 days in November. And that's my challenge to all of you. So can't wait to see who watches this. If you have anything to say, make sure that you comment below. Again, subscribe to the channel so that we can follow each other. If you have something to say, or if you want me to follow your channel, definitely comment below, because that's how I'm going to find you. And with that, I hope you all have the most incredible Friday ever. Have a great weekend filled with love and laughter and being with the people that mean the most to you in your life. And I will talk to you next time. See you on Tuesday, everybody.